Namaste and welcome to our virtual class conducted by Asian Academy, Darchula. Dear students, it's me, Mahesh Badu, the science teacher of Asian Academy. Today, we are going to learn about the force of class 7. Dear students, before starting the year force, at first science of class 7 is grouped into 5 categories. First, physics, chemistry, biology, geology and environment, and last one, geology and astronomy, and last one, environmental science. Today we are discussing on here first physics. What is the physics? Physics is that branch of the science which study or which deals about the physical property of the matter of an object. Today in physics we'll discuss about the force. Before starting this, dear student, I show a activity here. Here, I have a ball tied by a string, and one end of the string is held by my hands. You can do it at home also. At first, the ball is in a rest position. If I pull the ball, ball goes into motion. At first, the ball is in a rest position. If I push the ball, ball goes into motion. That means the position of ball is changing here. If I pull or push the ball, the position of ball is changing here. If the ball is in a rest, if I apply a force from external part, the ball goes into motion. And if the ball is in a motion, and if I apply a force, the ball comes into rest. So, if we apply a force, what will happen here? The position of an object is changing here. That means the state of an object is changed. And we cannot apply the force from external part. We have to apply the force from its outer side. So, force is an external agent also. And force changes the state of an object, position of an object. So, dear students, we can define the force is an external agent. Force is an external agent. The force is defined as an external agent which tries to change the state of a body from rest to motion or motion to rest. Okay? Force changes the state. State means the position of an object. Again, dear students, in our daily life, we perform the different kinds of the jobs. We do the different kinds of the works. To do every work, to perform the every work, we need a force. We need to apply a force. Without force, we cannot do any work. We cannot do any work. Okay? So, force is necessary to do our work. Not only human being, other animals also need force to perform their works. So again, I'll repeat the definition of the force. Look on the chart. Here, the force is defined as an external agent which tries to change the state of a body from rest to motion or motion to rest. We can define the force in another ways. Force is just pulling or pushing an object. In our every works, in our every jobs, we pull or push an object. Dear students, after the definition of force, we'll discuss about the effects of force. First, when we apply the force on an object, what will happen there? If we apply a force on an object, what kinds of the effect we can see on that object? Now, there are mainly 5 effects on an object if we apply force. First one is here, a force can move or rest the body. Here, for this, I have one activity here. Here is a ball. Look at here. At first, the ball is in rest. If I apply force from its external part, at first it is in rest. If I apply force, what happens? Look at here. The ball comes in motion. Ball is in motion, moving. So, force can move or rest the body. Force can change the position of a body. Again, second effect of force is a force can stop a moving body. When a body is moving, if we apply a force on that, the moving body comes into rest position. Here, at first, the ball is in what? Motion. It's moving. Look at here. If I apply force on this ball, what happens here? The balls come in rest. That means force can stop a moving body. Force can stop a moving body. Okay? Third one, a force can change the speed of moving body. When we apply a force on a moving body, the speed of that body, it increases or decreases. If we want to increase or decreases the speed of moving body or velocity of moving body, we have to apply a force on that. Okay? For example, again, here a ball. The ball is in motion, is moving. If I want to increase the speed of this ball, I need to apply a force on this. I need to apply force. This ball, the speed of this ball is increases. Again, if I want to decrease the speed of this moving ball, I have to apply force on this. The speed of ball is decreases. Okay? So, third effect is a force can change the speed of moving body. Fourth one, a force can change the direction of moving body. If we apply the force on moving body in the direction of the moving body, in opposite direction of moving body, the direction of that body is changed. If a body is moving in a east direction, if we apply force from its west direction, the speed of moving that moving body is changed. If a ball is moving in this direction, if we apply a force from its opposite direction, the speed of and the direction of that body is changed. Another, when playing a cricket, a bowler throws a ball in one direction. If a batsman hits the ball, the direction of ball is changed. Okay, this is an example of this. So, force can change the direction of a body. And last one is a force can change the shape and size of a body. Here, I have a paper. Okay, first one, a force can change the shape. Here, students, look at here. The paper is in a rectangular shape. If I apply a force on this side of this paper, what happens? Look at here clearly. What is here? At first, look at here. At first, the paper is in rectangular shape. After applying a force, the shape of the paper is changed. At this time, the shape of the paper is unknown here. Okay. Next one, the size also. If we apply force on a body, the size of a body is also changed. First, here, the length, the height of the paper is fixed. We know, we can measure. If we want to decrease the size of this paper, what we need to do? We need to apply force. I charge a paper. Here, the size of the paper is decreases. So, if we apply force on an object, the size of a body is also changed. So, force can change the shape and the size of a body. After the completion of the effects of force, we will discuss about the types of force. Here are 5 types of the force. First here, centripetal force. CENTRIPETAL, centripetal force. Second one here, magnetic force. Third, gravitational force. Gravitational force. Fourth one, electrostatic force. Electrostatic force. And here last one is a frictional force. Frictional force. Here today we will discuss here 5 types of force: centripetal force, magnetic force, gravitational force, electrostatic force, and last one, frictional force. Dear students, here first, centripetal force. Before define the centripetal force, I will show you an activity. Here, a pulley is tied by a string. You can do it at home also. Bring over stone and tie this stone by a string and hold the 1 inch of the string in your hands and move it into circular path. Here, what do we have? A pulley is held by the string Here I rotate it in as in a circular path. Here, circular path. The pulley is moving in circular path. It makes a circular path. At the center, my hands is a center, and pulley is moving in a circular path. Here, during this experiment, we feel some kinds of the force is pulling towards our hands at the center through a string. That means when an object moves in circular path, a kinds of the force is exerted towards the center, and a kinds of force is exerted outwards the body. So, the force exerted towards the center is known as centripetal force. Okay? Here, you can see the definition of the centripetal force in a chart. When a body is moving in a circular path, the force acting towards the center is known as centripetal force. For the centripetal force, the body should be moved in a circular path, and the force is exerted, the acting outwards the center is known as the centrifugal force. This is not on your syllabus. So, centripetal force is the force exerted towards the center when an object is moving in circular path. Okay, understand? Good. Another example. Earth is moving around the sun, and the moon moves around the earth in a circular path. These earlier planets or heavenly bodies are also held one place due to also centripetal force. Okay? Good. Next one, magnetic force. Dear students, here I have a magnet. Have you seen a magnet? Yes. Here I have a magnet. First one, magnet has two poles. Here, north poles and south pole. Magnet has that capacity to attract the magnetic substance like iron, cobalt, nickel, mainly metals. That is, magnet can attract metals, which are called magnetic substance. Those substances which are attracted by magnets are known as a magnetic substance, and magnet can attract these kinds of the substance. Here I have a metal pins and magnet. You can see here this metal can attract this here metal sheet here. Okay, because this magnet has capacity to pull the magnetic substance. So the force exerted by magnet on magnetic substance is known as magnetic force. You can see here also. Here the force exerted by the magnet on the iron, cobalt or nickel, these are the magnetic substance, is called magnetic force. Okay, understand? Good. Here. Next one, gravitational force. Third one is a gravitational force. Here, I have a marker. If it is left from certain height, it falls down. If I left, it falls down. This is due to what? gravitational force. Here you can see here a picture. An apple is falling down. Apple is falling down. Why? Why it cannot go up? When I throw a marker, why it cannot go up? Why always a substance falls down? Here, Earth has a capacity to pull down an object. So, this capacity, this pulling force of Earth is known as gravitational force towards the center of Earth. So, we can define the force exerted by the Earth towards its center is known as gravitational force. Here, the force exerted by the Earth on the body towards its center is called gravitational force. Dear students, every object falls down towards the center. No can go up due to the gravitational force. Is that? Dear children, next type of the force is electrostatic force. What? Electrostatic force. At first, every matters, every substances are made by the smallest particle, atom or molecules. And atoms are also made by the charged particle, electron, proton and the neutron. But atom is made by what? Electron, proton and neutron. Here electron has a negative charge, proton has positive charge and neutrons are chargeless. First of all, here electrons and protons are charged particle and neutrons are chargeless. In an atom, number of protons and number of electrons are same. Number of electrons equal to number of protons. So, the matters or substance is naturally chargeless because the charge of electron is cancelled by charge of proton. But if the number of proton and electron are not same, number of proton and electrons are changed. If in an atom the number of electrons are greater than number of proton, the atom get what? Negative charge. And if in an atom number of protons are greater than number of electrons, an atom get positive charge. Due to these charged particles, the electrostatic force is exerted. One example we can do at home also. If we rub a comb, I have a marker here. If we rub a comb with our hairs, the charged particle from our hairs are transferred into the combs or a marker. And if we bring a comb near the air dust particles or piece of the paper, the comb attracts the piece of paper. This is due to what? Electrostatic force. This here charged comb produces charge on your papers, piece of paper also, or dust particle. And charged particles, opposite charged particles are attracted towards each other. Okay, so we can say the electrostatic force is the force exerted between charged particles. Okay, first of all, again, substances are made by charged particle, electron and protons or atoms. Due to the differences of these charged particles in the substance, the electrostatic force is exerts. Okay, so we can define simply electrostatic force is the force exerted between charged particles or body is known as electrostatic force, or is called electrostatic force. Dear student, such type of the activity you can do at home. Okay. Next types of the force is frictional force. Rub your hands. Rub your hands. What do you feel? We feel hot. Why? This is due to frictional force. You know, every substance or everything are not perfect smooth, not 100% smooth. They have the rough surface, but we can not see that idea rough surface. Every substance is these such like surface. If we see these matter surface of the substances by microscopes, we can see such type of the surface. If one thing or a body is rubbed above the another body, if a body A is here, if a body is rubbed above the another, this is another body, okay, yes. These here surfaces are interlocked to each other, and we need to force to push an object above the another object. So, first of this frictional force is opposite force. If we push a body B above the body A, if we push it in this direction, here another body body A apply force in this direction, in opposite direction. If we slide a body B above A, if we push the body B in this direction, body A apply force in this direction, up in opposite direction, because of these interlocks of the surface. Such kinds of the force is known as frictional force. So we can define the frictional force as when a body moves or tries to move on the surface of another body, a kind of opposite force is created between them. This force is called frictional force. Listen here. When we move a body above the surface of another body, a kind of the force, opposite force, is created between these two objects. That force is known as the frictional force. Due to the frictional force, we can walk. Here, the floor and our legs, frictional force is created, due to which we can walk. Again, we can write on here a whiteboard on a copy due to the frictional force. If the bodies are 100% smooth, that means here if the frictional force is not created between the two surfaces, we cannot write on board, we cannot walk and other things. So frictional force is created when two objects are rolled. One object is moving above the surface of another body. So, dear students, frictional force is created when one body, one object is moving above another object, moving above the surface of another object. Okay, this is frictional force. Again, I'll repeat here the types of force. First one is a centripetal force. When a body is moving in a circular form, a kind of force is exerted towards the center is known as what? Centripetal force. Second one, magnetic force. Simply a force exerted by magnet is known as magnetic force on magnetic substance. Magnet cannot attract everything, not all things, only magnetic things. Magnet cannot attract piece of paper, not wood, not stone, but like iron, cobalt, nickel, it is the metals. These are called magnetic substance. Third one is a gravitational force. Earth has a capacity to pull an object towards center. Is the gravitational force. That means Earth has gravity. Okay. Fourth one, electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is the force exerted between the charged particle. You know, dear student, due to the electrostatic force, lightning is also takes place. Lightning, when your rubbing comes, can extract the piece of paper. Okay, this is electrostatic force. And last one, frictional force. Frictional force is a force created between two objects when one is moving on the surface of another. Okay, these are the types of force. Dear students, try to repeat at home. Also, now we are at the end of this class. Dear students, now, dear students, we are at the end of this lesson. I hope you have understood about the force. If you have any confusion, you can consult your subject teacher. Now, it's time for homework. I've given 3 questions for you. You have to write in your fair copy clearly with good handwriting. Here, first question is define force and write its type. Second, what are the effects of force? Third question, write short notes on centripetal force, magnetic force, frictional force, and last one is gravitational force. Dear students, now at last, at home, be safe and healthy. Thank you.